Hello, we're the PNC Newsgirls, Mia.
And Ma, reading the news 6 days a week because you're too lazy.
Thursday, June 22nd, 2023.
There you go. Anyone who believes that a religious reformation can be achieved through the agency of a political organization shows that he has no idea of the development of religious conceptions and doctrines of faith and how these are put into practice by a church. No man can serve two masters, and I hold that the foundation or overthrow of religion has far more serious consequences than the foundation or overthrow of a state, to say nothing of a party. Adolf Hitler.
Alright, quick column. Netanyahu meets Druze community leader in bid to soften anger in Golan. According to a statement released by Netanyahu's office, the prime minister, accompanied by the Israeli security agency director Ronan Bar, met with the spiritual leader of the Druze community in Israel. Shika. Tarif to discuss the ongoing protests against the wind turbines which are set to be built in the Israeli-occupied Syrian Golan Heights. I view with great severity and concern what is happening at the moment on the Golan Heights, Netanyahu said, according to the English version of the official statement.
I just did the math, and I'm gonna get the cancer column. Man diagnosed with monkeypox months after last case in Israel. A man in his 50s has been diagnosed with monkeypox after several months has passed and no case reported in Israel. The health ministry said he is in good condition. Although the man was previously vaccinated against monkeypox, it is recommended that people at high risk get vaccinated twice against the virus because the shot is more effective if 2 doses of the vaccine are given.
That was fast. Zelensky says offensive slower than desired because it isn't a Hollywood movie. Everything about the advertisement for this war has been based on the premise that it is literally a Hollywood movie. We're not even talking about good Hollywood movies. Not even war-related Hollywood movies like Saving Private Ryan or something. NATO said that Russia is Thanos and Darth Vader. What?
Okay then. Ukrainians become second largest migrant group in Germany. What? DeSantis?
I don't know. I don't think it's DeSantis.
What the? You know what? I give up. Recorded 0.1% growth in the previous year. Statement released on Tuesday noted. Immigration to Germany stood at least one... Wait, how do I read this 1 second? How do I read this? Would it be 14,055?
No, I don't know.
What is
just read the numbers.
1455000.
Maybe it's million or something?
I don't think that's million. Like, what? Who is you? How do I say this? How do I say it? How do you read it? That doesn't help.
Google, come on.
No. What does it mean? 1,455,000.
See, I was right, it is million.
Okay, so 1,455,000. Thank you, Google.
I'm smart.
People last year compared to 329,000 in 2021. The nation's total population reached 84.4 million by the end of 2022. Ukrainians have become the second largest non-citizen group in the EU nation. It might be DeSantis.
It might be, but I thought DeSantis was like...
But it looks like the status. Looks like the status.
I don't know, man.
So I don't know. Of the 12.3 million foreigners living in Germany, the largest diaspora, I don't know, is Turkish, which totals at 1.34 million. There were 1.05 million Ukrainian residents by the end of last year, reflecting a six-fold annual increase. Syrians are the third largest category of foreign nationals, standing at 883,000 people. Immigration has somewhat changed the age structure of German society, with the share of people under 20 increasing by 2.8% according to the report. The number of German citizens of the same age group fell by 0.3 over the same period.
Alright. On with the poll column. Musk picks location for a cage match with Zuckerberg. Wait, are they gonna fight? I wanna see them fight.
Fight!
Twitter owner and Tesla CEO Elon Musk and Facebook parent Meta Platforms CEO Mark Zuckerberg may meet in Las Vegas for a high-profile cage match. The two billionaires have been exchanging barbs on social media throughout the past week over Zuckerberg's plans to launch a Twitter rival, the TT.
No!
The Tit-tat, I know. I thought I was like saying the name of the rival company.
TT.
That's funny. The Tit-tat began with Musk's reply to a tweet from Mario Naufal from International Blockchain Consulting on June 20th, who wrote, Meta to release Twitter rival called Threads. Threads will reportedly be a standalone text-based social network app that Meta plans to launch through Instagram to challenge Twitter.
Oh.
Got it. I want to see them fight.
Anyway, I have to read to answer.
I was just gonna ask, who do you think would win? Musk or Zuckerberg?
Depends on if it's in Zuckerberg's coding. It's like fight.
Yeah.
Because if it's not, Musk might win, but if it is...
If Zuckerberg is programmed to fight, then I think
probably...
Yeah. He have the advantage, you know, it's like being plugged into the Matrix and boom, you just learn how to do
exactly.
karate.
Okay. Boston first responders horrified to find 4 children at transgender drag party with a dead body, drugs, and inappropriate items scattered throughout the home. Oh, God. According to Boston Herald, some of the adults were dressed as women when first responders arrived at the scene. Multiple reports said it was a transgender drag party. In a shocking discovery, the responders found 4 children in the back bedroom being hidden by an adult male. The children ranged in age from 5 to 10. It remains unclear if the children discovered in the apartment were relatives of the adults present or if they lived there on a permanent basis. According to Herald, a man wearing a wig claiming to be the father was found in a back bedroom with the kids.
Uh-huh.
Leave the children alone.
Yes.
A dead body, though? Does it mean like a real one? Because it doesn't mention anything about it later. And drugs. It's just completely gonna ignore this.
Yep. Alright. Death Pod Retard. What?
I don't know. Wait.
We're just gonna roll.
Sorry, YouTube.
Didn't want a 50-year-old white guy advising him. I don't feel bad for this dead... Am I allowed to say it on you?
I don't know. Can you?
Huh. I already said it once, so what's the problem? Say it multiple times.
But like, I don't know if you're allowed to say it on YouTube. One thing might overlook, but like... I don't know if that's like something you're allowed to do.
I don't feel bad for this dead insert R word here or his victims. That is outside of my policy. If you shouldn't ever feel emotions for things you read about in the media or for people you don't know.
You said if instead of of.
Oh.
So that didn't make sense.
If you shouldn't feel emotions for things...
But you did it again! You said if instead of of!
What is the of I'm missing?
If that sentence my policy of, you should never feel emotions for things you read about in the media or for people you don't know.
Okay. I actually think the situation is hilarious. Insert R word here. Get what is coming to them by their own hand.
Oh, YouTube would definitely hate that sentence.
Yeah. As it turns out, Rush did hire one 50-year-old white guy who was fired for telling everyone the doomed pod was a doomed pup. Okay.
Okay. John Durham dismisses does that say laundry?
Yes.
Laundry list of Dems? Does that mean something?
I'm pretty sure it means Democrats.
Trump-Russia collision claims one by one. Special counsel John Durham directly refuted?
Yeah.
Claims by Democratic congressmen that there was evidence former President Donald Trump colluded? That's weird. With Russia during the 2016 election, according to his testimony before the House
Judiciary?
Thank you. Committee on Wednesday. Durham was asked by Republican Rep. Kevin Kiley of California about accusations made by Democratic Reps Jerry Nadler of New York, as well as Ted Lieu, Eric Swalwell, and Adam Schiff of California regarding Trump's conduct both during the hearing and passed on the record. He quoted statements made by the members and asked Mr. Durham to respond as whether or not they were supported by the facts of the Mueller report, which he said they weren't.
Alright. Gas explosion at Paris private school injures 29. Up to 7 remain in critical condition. The blast erupted Wednesday afternoon on place
Alphonse
Larfin. I don't know. I'm trying to
Lavran.
French, I don't know.
Alphonse Lavran.
in the fifth, but
arrondissement.
Arrondissement. Wow.
I don't actually know that word. I was just purely guessing.
Okay. Completely demolishing the building on the scenic street and sending fire and smoke bellowing over the city. It occurred at Paris American Academy, an international school focused on preparing students for careers in the arts. Up to 2 people were initially reported missing, and it remains unclear if they have been located. Photos show a scene of destruction on the street, with splintered beams and floor planks burning in a pyre of carnage, while a plume of smoke towered over the historic dome of the nearby Val de Grace military hospital.
I think I remember what pyre means. I remember seeing like the word pyre in a book and looking it up, and it had something to do with being a grave. Like a little tribute or something. Somebody built a pyre for somebody, so revealed. Crew member on Titan's mothership filmed moment craft began its doomed descent to Titanic wreck, and selfie footage and 22-year-old photographer posted on TikTok unaware of the horrors to come. Abby Jackson, a 22-year-old videographer employed by the company on board the mothership Polar Prince, that's a weird name, shared the short video before the vessel disappeared. Post captioned, "Watching a submarine go down to the Titanic," pans away from the ship's deck to show Titan on the surface of the Atlantic Ocean some distance away. Ms. Jackson also filmed one of the sub's passengers, Paul is that Henry?
Yeah, I guess.
Nargillet, who has been dubbed Mr. Titanic for visiting the wreckage 37 times. The 77-year-old is seen sitting on the side of an inflatable boat before waving and smiling at the camera.
Okay. Okay, Columba. Africa's Russia-Ukraine peace mission criticized in South Africa. The shortcomings of the trip have led to plenty of reactions back in Africa, especially in South Africa. The mission was an attempt to reaffirm that the country can and does punch above its weight in global terms. but fell flat largely because South Africa has been naive in foreign policy. Aisha Kaji, a research fellow at Johannesburg-based
A Johannesburg-based think tank. A Johannesburg-based think tank Africa-Asia Dialogues
told Al Jazeera. What was it? Think tank? I'm so confused.
Johannesburg-based think tank of African-Asia Dialogue.
Kaisha told Al Jazeera that the weakness of the mission is that Africa has not been able to resolve its own conflicts.
People really need to start looking over these, because what?
Think tank.
Disney's diversity chief reportedly exits after woke policies controversies. Newton? Is that Newton?
Yeah, Newton.
Has led Disney's diversity and inclusion initiatives since 2017, coordinating with various teams to produce entertainment that reflects a global audience and sustains a welcoming and inclusive workplace for everyone, as per a profile on the company's website. Newton plans to join the corporation board corporate board of another company and focus on the creative company she owns. A source familiar with the matter told Reuters on Tuesday. Is the owner of the company she, or is Newton she?
I don't know. Newton might just be the last name, in which case it'd be fine. Anywho, Kenya is the world's top TikTok user. That's surprising. Kenya? It's a country in Africa, I think. I'm surprised it's not the US. According to the recently released Reuters Institute Digital News Report 2023 survey, Kenya leads in world TikTok usage. The report shows that the East African nation, see that's right, concentrates 54% of TikTok usage for any purpose and 29% for news. Wow, that's a big percentage. Thailand comes in second place as South Africa holds the third spot with 50% for general use and 22% for news. I'm surprised the US isn't in the top 3. Like, I'm genuinely surprised.
No, US has other things to do, like Reddit. Okay. American Medical Association deems body mass index measure racist. That didn't make any sense anyways. The AMA Council on Science and Public Health report, where the new policy is detailed, evaluates the problematic history with BMI, which has been widely used since early 1970s. I can't read. As it explores alternatives. According to the announcement, the report also outlines harms and benefits of using BMI, which it deems an imperfect way to measure body fat in multiple groups, given that it does not account for differences across race, ethnic groups, genders, and age span.
Okay, but like, I thought all races were the same.
Yeah.
I thought all races were the same. Yeah. Why would there be a difference if they're all the same? Anyways, onto the war crime column. My daughter was murdered by a gender ideology. Okay. LA mom slams CPS after it took away her daughter and let her transition into a man before she killed herself 3 years later, aged just 19. Alright.
I still think you shouldn't be able to like do any of the trans stuff until you're an adult.
Yeah.
Like, you can't drink, you can't drive, but you can go trans? That just simply doesn't make any sense. If they can't even drink, why can't they go trans?
Abigail Martinez stood before the California Judiciary Senate last week to blame gender ideology for taking her daughter Yeely's life. Yeely Mazzilli, what? Gonzalez?
No.
I know it's not Gonzalez, but that's the closest thing I can think
Yeel Mazzelli Galdemas?
I don't know, man. Died by suicide in September 2019, 3 years after CPS removed her from her mother's home. My daughter was murdered by gender ideology, she said at the hearing. CPS took my daughter when she was 16 years old. It was helped by her public school counselor, an LGBTQ group, and another trans-identified girl. My daughter was taken from her loving home because the state of California claims I was abusive for not affirming her trans identity. I lost my daughter over a name and pronouns.
Sad.
Yeah.
India's Modi? Is that Modi or Modi?
Modi, I guess. I don't know.
Is getting a state visit with Biden, but the glitz is shadowed by human rights concerns. Washington, AP. President Joe Biden and Prime Minister Narendra Modi are marking the state visit of the Indian leader on Thursday by launching new partnerships in defense, semiconductor manufacturing, and more sectors as the leaders look to strengthen the country's crucial, albeit complicated, relationship. But is Biden what? Google, I need you once again. What's it mean? A celebration or festival? Okay, so it's a festival. Human rights advocates and some U.S. lawmakers are questioning the Democratic president's decision to offer the high honor to a leader whose 9-year tenure?
Tenure? I don't know.
Over the world's biggest democracy has been marked by a backslide in political resolution and press freedoms.
Okay. Cooking gas explosion kills 31 people at a barbecue restaurant in northwestern China. Beijing, AP, a massive cooking gas explosion at a barbecue restaurant in northwestern China killed 31 people and injured 7. Chinese authorities said Thursday. Normally it would be switched to be injured 31, killed 7. No. China ain't playing around. The blast tore through the establishment at around 8:40 p.m. Wednesday on a busy street in
Yunchuan,
the capital of the traditionally Muslim Ningxia autonomous region, as people were gathering on the eve of the Dragon Boat Festival holiday. The official Xinhua news agency said. The festival is a national holiday devoted to eating rice dumplings and racing boats manned by teams of paddlers.
Interesting.
Thank you.
Okay. Fed mysteriously dropped charges against Indian white supremacists. Media goes silent. The whole narrative about the Indian white supremacists, okay, it was tripping me for a second, so I was like, where are the Indian white? No. Indian white supremacists trying to does that say assassinate?
Yep.
The white president with a truck and a Nazi flag exploded in immediate aftermath of the arrest last month. At the time, it seemed like the melodrama was shaping up to be a January 6th tier story of domestic
extremism.
But now there's radio silence in the corporate media. The Indian Nazis chain charges of threatening the president's life were quietly downgraded. The whole story has apparently imploded.
Because they just hired him to do this. They just
hired him real quick.
They just hired him to do
Here's some cash, do some stupid stuff for me.
Here, have $1 million. I want you to threaten the president and make it look like you're a Nazi. Anyways, thank you for listening to Mia. My brain died. Thank you for listening to Mia.
And my the Folder Central homepage. Please comment, share, donate, subscribe, I guess.
And come back tomorrow for a segregated news.
Technically I should say like too. But this is like way too 5 things. That's too many.